Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Fabric Cafe. My name is John Nossel, and today we're going to be talking about some really exciting patriotic kits that we've got in our warehouse now. And to start out with, let's tell you a little bit about what we've got here at Fabric Cafe. If you're not familiar with this, we have 9 different books that we've got in print. Each one of these books have 8 different patterns in them that will allow you to be able to make a variety of designs, and they all use just 3 yards of fabric and give you the instructions also along with that lap quilt to make a twin size, which will use 6 yards of fabric, and a queen king topper that allow you to use 12 yards of fabric. All of them are based on that 3 yards and give you some great opportunities to use up some of that stash with your books. In addition to the books, we've also got individual patterns, which we'll show you a couple here real quick. They're smaller patterns. They're designed to work with that 3 yards once again, and we'll give you all the instructions you need to make that quilt top, including your border and your binding, are part of our kits. So let's get started today. So I've got Hannah that's behind the camera today, and again, Patricia's going to be joining me with holding up the quilt. So let's get started. So our first kit today is like I said, we're going to be doing Patriotics today. So our first one is going to be a really pretty quilt that we've got using Strip Happy. So Strip Happy is a really nice one because it allows you to have some smaller blocks inside of that. But again, everything is designed on a strip method. So we've got a motif that's right here that we're just repeating throughout this quilt. And so we go in and make up our strips, cut them together, rotate them appropriately, and we come up with that full quilt. And again, all of our quilt kits are designed for everything on the quilt top, including your border and your binding, are all part of that 3 yards of fabric. So let's take a look at the fabric that's in this one. So like I didn't mention, but the fabric that we had in that one is not part of, we don't have that particular fabric, but we've got a great substitute here for you. Let's take a look at that now. So this is a real fun one. It's called Fireworks, and it's got all of these great stars, the reds, whites, and blues in here. And our secondary fabric is this red with the white stars in it. And our third fabric is this blue with the little organic squares all over it. So each one of our kits are designed to work with a focus fabric, a light or a medium colored fabric, and a dark fabric for the one that we use on our borders. So this particular kit is called Fireworks, and we recommend using the Strip Happy pattern. And here's an example of what the Strip Happy pattern looks like. So this is a great one that you can find on our website at fabriccafe.com. And here's the product number for that, 8020477. And again, this one is called Fireworks. Okay, our next one that we have coming up is called Chevron. And Chevron's a really neat one. If you like half square triangles, this one is going to use a lot of half square triangles in it. So again, this is also a neat one because all of our motifs are just a small box here with 2 half square triangles in it, and we're just rotating and repeating that throughout this. This is also a neat design because we've gone out and we've used stripes in the borders. And that's a pretty neat way to be able to use stripes, is put them on your border out here, because then you'll get that nice border, and it gives you a way to use those stripes so that you might be not conflicting as much whenever you're trying to do that half square triangle. So that's a great one. This one is a finished size of 46 by 58, so it's a nice size quilt. Okay, so let's take a look at the one that we have here. And this is neat because we've actually got Chevron pattern in the focus fabric on this one. And it works really nice. So we'll have that main focus fabric with that chevron on it. Our secondary is this red and white stars. They're really a nice one. And then we got the complementary to that, which is the red background with the white stars. So we've got both of those in there. So you're going to use both of these to make your chevron pattern in the middle of the quilt. And then we can use this chevron red, white, and blue pattern out on the border. So it works out really nice. Here's what that chevron pattern looks like. And then this one we're calling Chevron Blues. And we're using item number 8020478. And again, the chevron pattern is what we recommend. Okay, so our next one, this is kind of one that we've had before. We've added a new fabric in it. And a lot of y'all might have seen our Old Glory fabric. It's this beautiful kind of an antique looking white background on that one, and the red and the white and the blue, with a really unique design for one of our 3-yard kits. Normally we've got a very repeating motif with them, and Donna had a lot of fun when she designed this one and gave us this friendship star over here on the sides and almost made this look like a vintage antique flag. It's a really neat one. And so let's take a look at the fabrics that we've got on this one. So we don't have that exact match for the fabrics that we have on that sample quilt, but we've got a great alternative here for you. So we've got our red and white stars that you saw that we had on the stripes of that one. And let's flip those up and let you take a look at those. And then for our third fabric, we've got this neat blue with this kind of weave pattern on it. So it's a really neat design that we have on that. And this will be absolutely gorgeous when you go in and do this in the Old Glory pattern. So this one is called Old Glory the Second, and its number is 8020479, and we're recommending that Old Glory pattern to use with that. So Old Glory is one of our new patterns for this year, and it was a really nice pattern that we put together, and works really neat with some of our Patriotic fabrics. So here's a last chance. We've got some kits that we have that'll be a last chance, and that means that we only have a few of these left. And this is one that we've got in that situation. So we've got this really nice red with that real light pin dot star on them. And then we've got a metallic gold star on this middle fabric. And then our dark fabric here, we've got a white star on it. So we've got the full red, white, and blue happening on this kit. And this one we're calling Stars. And again, we're suggesting the Old Glory pattern, but this is one of our last chance. We've only got 3 of these left, so if you're interested in this one, be sure to grab it quick because it will go fast. And that is Stars using Old Glory pattern. Okay. So as you are familiar with some of the quilts that we put together here, we've got one of our show and tells on this one. We'll show you the motif a little bit closer on this one. But first, let's take a look at the kit, the quilt on this one. It's called Windmill, and this is a really nice one. Again, while it looks very complex with all of these turning and spinning and everything, it's a very simple block that we're just repeating and rotating in 90-degree increments. And so this is a really neat one. We don't have this particular fabric with the sunflowers on it, even though that is a gorgeous one, but we do have a red, white, and blue fabric that we're going to show you today. So let's take a look at that. So we're going to put that one up on the table here in just a second. And we're going to take a look at that. So we're suggesting using these 3 fabrics with this one. So we've got this gorgeous red, white, and blue with the stars on it. So basically a little flag in there. And then our secondary is the stars on that red background. And then these little X's that are on this dark blue that's in this one. Really a neat kit. Let's take a look at how this one's going to go together so you can see how the motif works within this. So, as you've heard us probably mention in previous episodes, we go in and we create a strip of all of the fabric that's in this. So we'll literally cut out a strip with the fabric for the stars, the red and blue stars here, and then our dark blue. And we'll make this strip full width of fabric, and then we'll go in and start cutting out our individual motifs like this. And with the Windmill, that's the only motif that you're actually going to cut out of this. You'll have one set of strips, and you'll cut them up. And then as you cut them up, we can come in and start placing those inside of our design like this. And so all you have to do is just rotate them, and you're able to go in and have this windmill start going together very quickly for you. This is a really fast and fun design. So as you can see, that windmill goes together very quick and gives you a really pretty design whether you're using this stars and stripes. Okay, so again, This particular kit is called 4th of July, and it's recommended that we use the Windmill pattern. And oh, and by the way, this is one of them from the Quilts for Kids. And then we are suggesting that Windmill pattern like you saw in that quilt example just a moment ago. So that's 4th of July. Okay. And we got another one. Thank you. And of course, what would be more patriotic than some baseball? Although the baseball season is a little off to a weird start this year, we've got some to share with you. So this one is our Checkmate pattern, and this Checkmate pattern, I really like it for using big prints like this or any kind of things that are kid related. I like them a lot for using that because literally we've got a width of fabric strip in here. It's not cut up, that's just one piece of fabric. That's literally the width of the fabric. So it allows us to be able to have that great strip in there. And then we've got a real basic 4-patch in here. This one goes together very, very fast and looks really good whenever you have all of those borders and everything. And let's take a look at the back on this one real quick. I want to show you this one because this is a really neat design that the quilter did for us. And you can get in there and see that we got baseballs and gloves and balls and all of that. And it's a really neat quilting pattern that she used for us. Again, using a variegated variegated thread that makes a really neat design for our quilting on that. Okay, let's take a look at the fabric for this kit. It's called Play Ball, and it's got some of that great design in it with all of the baseball stuff and a scoreboard, and there's even some music, sheet music in the background, and all of the things that you would expect to see at a baseball game. And then our secondary fabric is this lovely red with all these little baseball designs all over it, and the blue is the same with those baseball designs on the fabric. So this one is called Play Ball, and Play Ball is 8020190, and we are recommending the Checkmate pattern as you saw in that sample quilt that Patricia was holding up for us, and it's also in the Quilts for Kids book. Okay, so keeping that theme up of patriotics today, we've got another one coming up here called Porch Rails, and we've got this one made up in some farm animals, but we don't have this fabric any longer, but we do have a really great patriotic that'll go really well with this. And I really like using porch rails a lot of times with any type of patriotic fabrics because you do have a little stripe in here and you can get a really neat design whenever we look at each of those. And so we've got that nice big block here and then a simple block here, and we just have two different block designs in this Porch Rails pattern that works beautiful for a lot of our fabrics. And so let's take a look at this kit. And this kit is called Star Spangled Banner, and it's great with all of these little flags in here and the little dark blue stars, and we tie all that together with the dark blue stars that we have in this number 2 fabric with the tan and beige background on it, and then we have a nice tone-on-tone red modeled number 3 fabric there. And you probably keep hearing us reference that number 3 fabric and the number 2 fabric there. We generally like to have that number 2 fabric as our lightest and our number 3 fabric as our darkest. And you've probably heard Donna a few times even say, hey, that squint your eyes and you'll be able to tell which of the number 2 or the number 3 fabric is your darkest one. And you'll see very clearly in that situation that red is going to be our darkest. So this one, once again, is called Star Spangled Banner. And we are recommending the Porch Rails pattern. Or if you happen to have the Pretty Darn Quick book, you'll have the Porch Rails pattern in that. And while I'm mentioning the books here, we do have a special that we run on our website. It is called our book deal. And if you buy 3 of our kits, you're able to get one of our books for free. So all you'll have to do is when you're selecting 3 of your kits, there'll be an option there whenever you're selecting your pattern, and you'll see an item there for the book deal. And if you select book deal on 3 of those, we'll give you the book of your choice that will be free in your order, and all you have to do is write that book's title and the order details, and you'll be ready to go for getting that free book. So we've got another one here using Porch Rails, and this is another last chance kit for us. And again, another great US flag on our focus fabric. Got that same stars in our number 2 fabric, and that red tone on tone fabric for number 3. So this is a last chance. We've got one of these left, and again, you would get a free copy of Porch Rails on that, and you'll have everything you need to make the entire quilt top right there in that one kit. So that's Faded Glory, and we've got one of those left. Okay, we got another one to play with here with our blocks. So this one is called Illusion, and this is a really great one that looks beautiful in the red, white, and blue fabrics. As you see that we've got in this one, it's got that great box motif running throughout this. But again, this is a really simple motif to go together because it is just using the strip method where we cut it out the strips and sew them all together, then cut them out and go from there. So let's take a look at this one, and let's put it on the table and see how this one goes together. So the first thing that we're going to do on this kit is we're going to go in and create one of our strips, our strip sets. So you can see that I've got a width of fabric on our focus fabric in this kit, and then our number 2 fabric, we've got a strip sewn to each side of this, and then we'll simply go in and start cutting out our individual pieces like this so that we can go ahead and start assembling this kit. So in this situation, let's go in here. Let's see, what was our number 1 fabric? Let's go with this one. So we'll come in here and we'll sew an additional strip on our strip 1 assembly, and then we'll have another one over here so that we can go in and start getting our motif here all repeated with our focus fabric and our number 2 fabric in it. We would repeat the same process for our other fabrics that we've got in this kit. And let's take a look at the fabric a little bit closer now. So this fabric is called Seeing Stars, and it's a really neat one. It's got a nice organic flow in it with the red, white, and blue stars and that dark blue background, so it really pops nicely. And then our number 2 fabric is that white background with red stars, and then this white star on red fabric here. So this is a great quilt kit, and it's called Seeing Stars, and it's 8020483, and we're recommending using the Illusion pattern on this one, and this is a pattern from the Modern Views book. So it's a really pretty fabric set and would give you a great patriotic look for that. Okay. So our next one that we've got coming up is another kind of an antique-y looking, and we're going to be taking a look at the Tic Tac pattern. And with Tic Tac, this is a great one because it's got a really big block in it, and it works really well for having a focus fabric like what we've got in this upcoming kit. And another nice thing is that we do allow you to have 2 focus fabrics in this kit, or this design, and it's really nice so that you can get in here and really have that focus in there. So we can see that we've got our focus number 1 fabric and our number 2 fabric here, or number 3 fabric there, and we're using that red as our middle focus to go ahead and sash around this particular design. So this is a really nice one for that. So let's take a look at that a little bit more up here. So we've got our fabrics in this kit, and this kit's going to be called Liberty. And Liberty has got these 3 fabrics in it. So we've got this nice big stars and stripes in the focus fabric on this one. And then we've got that big star print there. And then that red with the little organic flowery looking design in that. But the way that we would recommend using this is, so we would have our stars in, which one will we do that on? We would have our stars in where we have this light blue here, and the stars and stripes would end up on the border out here. We would use our number 2 fabric in this area, and then we'd have that red to be the sashing around the edges here. So this would be a really great looking design and would work well with this fabric. Again, this one's called Liberty, and we're using the Tic Tac pattern, and that's 8020485. And this is even one of them from the Easy Peasy book. So that's a really nice one, again called Liberty. Okay, we've got another one that's a great one, and it's using our So Quick pattern. I really like So Quick. It's probably my number 2 go-to in comparison to Checkmate, because this one is a really fast one. We've got this great big 9-inch block here for a focus on it. We don't have this particular fabric any longer, but it would work beautiful with one of our Patriotics. And then we've got a nice big 4-patch in this to be able to go through and make this just really neat design. So let's take a look at this one a little bit closer and take a look at what we're suggesting that we can work with here. We're calling this one Wave the Flag, and it's got this great kind of organic flag on it, and it looks really nice. It's going to be in that big block that we showed you on So Quick. And then we've got this white with the blue stars and the red that we would use for that 4-patch. And both of these together would give you a really nice design and a very nice quilt to use on the couch during the 4th of July weekend or something like that. But I don't think many of us would be using a quilt on the 4th of July, but you never know. Maybe you're in the southern hemisphere. So this one's called Wave the Flag, and it's 8020485, and we are recommending that So Quick pattern. And it's also from our Quilt Favorites, one of our downloadable books that we have. So Wave the Flag. And now we've got a couple of additional last chances for us. And with last chances, they work really nice. We've got 2 left on this one, and it's called Lady Patriot. And so we've got this great little bouquet of daisies on here in red, white, and blues. And then we've got that white that works beautiful as a secondary fabric, and then the blue with the white dot on it. And so these 3 would work really well on the suggested pattern is 9-patch. And so you would have a really neat design with that, with one set of your focus fabric would be in one set of those 9 patches, and have the other ones there. So this one again is called Lady Patriot, and this is one of our last chance, and we only have 2 of these left. So be sure to check that out. If you're not sure where to find those last chance quilts, whenever you look under the 3-yard quilt kits in the top left-hand corner of our website, under that first menu, you'll see that we've got an option there for last chance, and you'll be able to find those there. So here's another baseball-themed kit, and this one's got Woodstock from Peanuts, and this one we've got called MVP. And so we've put Woodstock in that focus fabric, and we've got this yellow with the dots on it to complement with the yellow that's in Woodstock, and then we've got blues to match his hat that he has. So this one again is called MVP, and it's another one of our last chance kits, and we have just 2 of these left. And we are suggesting the town square pattern to use with this one. And again, that goes together really nicely, and we'll highlight that really well. So that's another last chance called MVP. And we've got one more. So those of y'all that are in Texas or other parts of the country that have a lot of Western things in it, this is a really cool one. We've got a Western theme that's also a little patriotic here. And this one is called Yeehaw. And it's called using the square dance pattern, which we'll take a look at here in a second. And so Yeehaw has this really fun focus fabric with the Western theme in it. And then we've got a blue and white stars on this red fabric is our number 2 fabric. And then our number 3 fabric is this blue with the dots or the boxes on it. So these 3 patterns, again, are making up the Yeehaw kit. And we're suggesting square dance. So square dance is another one of our designs that we're showing you. And this one works really well as a great little design to work with that. So that kind of gives you some ideas of some of the great patriotic kits that we've got in our inventory right now. As you see, there's quite a bit of them, and we've got quite a number of the kits that we do have available. Now, we'll share one of the freebies that we've got on our website that I forgot to mention at the beginning of our show today, but you can always go up to our free goodies section on our website, and we've got an option in there for adding a border. And the adding a border option will allow you to be able to make your quilt just a little bit bigger. So like maybe if you're doing some charity quilts for Quilts of Valor or one of the other organizations out here, you might need to make it just a little bit bigger. And this free instruction sheet will tell you how to go in and actually make that quilt a little bit bigger for you based on how much fabric you want to put in that. And it's called Add a Border to a 3-yard quilt. And it'll give you the steps that you need to walk through that. And one other thing that I'll share with you is, unfortunately, we are not going to be doing a show this coming Thursday and again next Tuesday. Go ahead and say it.
Oh, and Thursday.
And Thursday. Oh, that's
not
right.
our regular show.
Yeah, not a regular show. Thanks, Hannah. So we're getting ready for the Great Wisconsin Quilt Show. That's going to be happening on the 10th, 11th, and 12th of September. And it is a lot of work for us, so we kind of need to take a little bit of a break here. But, you know, stay tuned. We are going to put out some, little bits of information for you on our normal time and our normal schedule. But it's not going to be the normal full show that we are going to be doing. And again, be sure to sign up and check out the Great Wisconsin Quilt Show that's coming up on September 10th through the 12th, and we're going to be doing 2 hours a day of video, so you're going to be seeing just lots and lots of new kits that we've got coming in. We've got some brand new stuff that we're going to be showing you. We're going to be sharing lots of tips and tricks, and it's just going to be a great it's going to be a really cool show. We're kind of excited about it, and we're getting all prepared for it. So we're not going to be doing our normal shows for the next week and a half, but keep watching here and you are going to see some great things. Donna will be back with us soon. She's actually traveling back today. I'm sure she's watching us, so hi, Mom. So you'll see her back in the show here, and we'll do some little short videos and things like that. So stay tuned, and we thank you all for joining us today. This is John Nossel with Fabric Cafe, and you can find all of our kits and everything at fabriccafe.com. Have an awesome rest of your day.